Hi everyone. So in this video, we will be focusing on Kadan's algorithm. Kadan's algorithm is mainly helpful when you have a list of integers, let's say both negative and positive numbers, right? And you have to find a subarray with maximum sum. Okay? You don't have to tell what exactly the subarray is. You just have to return the maximum sum. Okay? So when maximum sum is the focus area, you can use cadence algorithm directly. Okay, so let's see in this video what we are going to do. First, we will be checking how we can do it via brute force and how we will write the code. We will check the time complexity and then we will come back to cadence algorithm and we will see how exactly it works. Okay. So let's take the example of this array here. It contains both negative and positive numbers, right? So let's check the brute force first. Okay. So you will do, you will check all the subarrays, right? That's how brute force works. You will check all the subarrays. You will calculate the sum for each subarray, and then you will check whether my sum I got it's maximum or not. Correct? And whatever the maximum sum you will get, that would be your answer, right? That's how brute force will work. Okay, let's see this example here. For this integer -2, this this is also a subarray, right? Each integer is a subarray of length 1. If I'll check this way, 4 would be my answer, right? For each subarray of length 1. Then I will be starting with -2. I will see I'll find a subarray of length 2. Then I will find a subarray of length 3, then 4, up to I reach the last element, correct? That's how I will check each subarray starting from -2. Then I will check all the subarrays starting from 1 of length 1, of length 2, a subarray of length 3, up to I reach my last number. Similarly, I will start all the subarrays with -3, then with 4, then with -1, then 2, and until I check each number, correct? So let's do it this way. Let's start write code for it. I will take an array. Let's take a array here itself. I will take the example of this subarray, this array, sorry. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to check for each number of the array, right? So what I'm going to do, I have a array. I will be traversing for each one of them, right? And after that, what you are doing for each number, you are checking the length of each subarray. Basically, you are checking the subarray of each length, length 1, length 2, length 3, length 4, up to you reach the end of it, correct? So let's write it this way. I will be taking another for loop starting from I. Let me just explain it to you why I started from I here. Just a second. All right. So when I'm starting with -2 for each length of subarray, I'm starting with -2, correct? I'm checking for each length of subarray, what is my sum? Then when I'm starting with 1, again I'm starting from the scratch, correct? Then when let's say I'm starting for this 2, I mean for each length of array, this is always my starting point, correct? Similarly, this will be my starting point when I start with this number, correct? So for each number, we are starting from the number only. Okay. All right. Now what we have to do? We have to calculate a sum, correct? All right. I will take a j here because we are checking sum for each array here, right? Okay. Now what I have to do? I have to declare this sum variable also. where I will declare it here. Let me just explain you why. Because whenever I'm starting with a new number, I'm starting basically from the scratch, right? Let's say when you start with -2, you will check you will add this number into the sum. You will see whether your -2 is maximum or not, right? Then you will start with the length 2. You will add 1. Then you will check. Then you will add -3. Then you will add 4. Okay. So step by step, you will keep adding the numbers and you will keep checking whether your sum is maximum or not. But when you come to this number, when you are starting a new starting point, then you are just starting your sum from the scratch, right? You are just adding this 1 in the sum and then you are adding -3. That's why we initiated this sum value just before this for loop. Okay, I hope this part is clear to you. Now what you have to do, you have to just check whether uh, the sum you got, whether it's greater than your existing maximum sum or not. So this is how you check the maximum value, right? Okay, so let me just declare it in the beginning. I will be starting it with the minimum value. Why exactly? Because when you have to find a maximum sum, let's say a maximum product or anything which is maximum, then you should be initiating the value with minimum value. Okay, that's basically a trick uh, to start the value start the code with some value. And let's say if I had to calculate a minimum sum, then I will be starting with max value here. Okay, so it basically works the opposite way. All right. Okay. So now I have already my maximum sum with me. Let's just print it out and see what we have. So in this example, if you will see carefully, you will find a maximum subarray, a maximum sum of any subarray for this particular window, for this particular subarray here. So your answer would be 6 in this case. Okay. So you can check it. You will find out for this particular example, this is the subarray with maximum sum. Okay. Let's see what we get in the output here. Okay. We are getting 6 here, right? All right. Now, since we already completed the code, let's check the time complexity. Okay. So what we are doing, we are running two for loops, one nested for loop in this one. Okay. So what you are doing for each number, you are traversing it n times, right? Let's say you are traversing it n times. Okay. Now for each number, you are running this for loop again, which starts from I and goes up to end of the array, right? Then again, what you are doing, you are starting from 0, traversing till the end. Then you are traversing till n minus 1 because you are starting from 1 and going up to n, right? So you are running it n minus 1 times. Then you are running it n minus 2 times, correct? So eventually what comes out, you will find out n is your maximum, n is the time complexity for this particular loop, right? Okay. So because you are traversing this for loop, inside this for loop, so for each n numbers you are traversing n times, right? So what would be your time complexity? It would be O of n square. Okay. I hope you got how exactly we came to this time complexity. All right. So you can see in most of your array questions, n square time complexity is not desirable, right? You will have to do it in O of n only. Okay, just the linear time complexity. Okay, so you can achieve that linear time complexity using Kadane algorithm. Okay, so this is how Kadane algorithm comes into the picture. What you have to do, you have to just traverse your array once. Okay, I will start from here and I will go up to here. Okay, so what you are gonna do, you are gonna start with a value, let's say my sum, which I will start it with 0. Okay, and you will add -2 here. Okay, now your sum becomes -2. Okay, now you will check whether your -2 is maximum or not. Okay, then you will go further. You will add this number 1. Let's add 1 here. I will come out to be -1. Okay, now you will be checking whether my this sum is less than my current number or not. Okay, so what you are basically doing, you are checking if I add this number, particularly this number, if I add this number into the sum, will my sum reduce? You know, well, let's say in another way, if I add myself into the sum, will I will reduce my value or not? Okay, so you can see here, uh, your existing sum was -2 and you added 1 here, right? And you got -1. So basically what's happening, you are reducing the value of this one, correct? So what you will do, you will simply discard this. Okay, and you will start a new sum from here. Okay, similarly you will find out that by adding this 4, you are reducing this the value of this 4 number by adding into the sum. So you will be basically discarding it again. You will start from here itself. Okay, so how we can achieve this? What we will do, we will add our number into the sum, and then you will be checking whether my sum is less than my array, this array I, my current number. If that is the scenario, then what I will do, I will simply update my sum. Okay, I will simply assign this value. What I'm doing, I'm basically discarding my old sum, whatever the value I got in the in the previous numbers, and I'm starting from the scratch. Okay, let's start with the code here. So I will remove this because you have to traverse it only once in the linear time complexity. And so in that case, I can initialize my sum here itself. Okay, so we will be adding our number into the sum. We will be checking if my sum is less than my current number or not. Okay, so in that scenario, we will be updating our sum. Okay, and then again, we will checking what we were checking earlier. We were checking whether my current sum is maximum or not, right? So we will be checking if my sum is larger than my max sum, I will be simply updating it. Okay, all right. So let's try to run this and see. Okay, so I'm getting the similar result, right? So this is basically how you can write the cadence algorithm. Uh, Maybe I can simplify it. As you can see, it's a little hard to read. I can write it in this way also. Correct? So this is basically also doing the same thing. It is always checking whichever the largest value is, we will assign that value to this sum. Okay. Now you can see among these, all these two code, these lines of codes, this line is more readable, right? So let's just remove this and keep it like this. Okay. I can do the similar thing here also for this if condition as well. Okay. So this way we can just save our lines of code as well, and we can make it more readable, right? All right. So let's run the code here. Let's see what is our answer. Okay, we are still getting the answer as 6, right? Okay, so now you know how to write the code for cadence algorithm. I hope you will remember it, and I hope cadence algorithm is pretty much clear to you. Whenever you have to find the maximum sum of any subarray from any list of integers, you can simply use cadence algorithm, and it will calculate your maximum sum in linear time complexity. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching the video. Please leave a comment if you have any doubts. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.